Imagine you wake up hungry in the Stone Age. There is no fridge, no grocery store, no cereal, no delivery app, no little package that says organic, gluten-free, surprisingly expensive. There is just nature, which sounds beautiful until you realize nature does not come with labels. That berry might be breakfast. That berry might be diarrhea. That berry might be the reason your tribe invents a very sad story about you. So today, let's answer a simple question. What did ancient humans eat before stores? And more importantly, how did they know what wasn't going to kill them?
Today, getting food is almost suspiciously easy. You walk into a store, grab food from shelves, read labels, compare prices, complain about prices, then buy something you didn't even plan to buy. Ancient humans had a different system. Their grocery store was the entire landscape. The forest was the vegetable aisle. The river was the seafood section. The ground had roots. Trees had nuts and fruit. Animals had meat. Insects had protein. And somewhere nearby there was probably something that looked edible but was secretly planning to ruin your afternoon. The problem was not that there was no food. The problem was knowing which food was worth the risk.
One thing people often get wrong is imagining ancient humans eating the same thing every day. Like every morning they woke up and said, "Ah yes, the usual mammoth steak." That is not how this worked. Food changed with the seasons. In one place, spring might bring fresh plants, eggs, fish, or small animals. Summer might bring fruit, berries, insects, and easier travel. Autumn might bring nuts, roots, seeds, and animals getting fat before winter. Winter might bring hunger, cold, fewer plants, frozen ground, and everyone suddenly becoming very interested in anything edible. Ancient humans had to know when food appeared, where it appeared, and how long it would last. Their calendar was not just dates. It was hunger management. If you missed the right season, you could not just order more berries online. The berries did not care.
Gathering food sounds easy until you remember that plants are basically nature's confusing snack menu. Some roots are edible, some are useless, some need cooking, some are poisonous, some fruits are good only when ripe, some nuts need cracking, some plants are safe in one part but dangerous in another, and sometimes the difference between dinner and bad decision is tiny. So gathering was not just walking around and grabbing random leaves. It required memory, observation, teaching, taste, smell, seasonal knowledge, and a healthy fear of being the first person to try the weird, shiny thing. A skilled gatherer was not just collecting food, they were reading the landscape. That is a very different skill from opening a snack drawer.
Now let's talk about meat. Because yes, ancient humans ate meat. But that does not mean every day was a dramatic, heroic mammoth hunt. Large animals were dangerous. They were strong, they could run, they could fight back, and some of them were basically walking muscle walls with horns. Hunting could give a group a huge reward, but it could also give someone a broken leg, a deep wound, or a very embarrassing funeral. So ancient humans did not only eat giant animals, they also ate smaller animals, fish, birds, eggs, shellfish, insects, and whatever they could safely get. Sometimes they hunted, sometimes they scavenged, sometimes they followed animals. Sometimes they used traps. Sometimes they got lucky. And sometimes dinner escaped, which is very rude behavior from dinner. Fire was one of the biggest food upgrades in human history. Before cooking, a lot of food was harder to chew, harder to digest, or more dangerous. Cooking could make meat safer. It could make roots softer. It could make some foods easier to eat. It could kill some parasites and germs. It could turn "this is technically edible" into "this is actually dinner." And cooked food also meant more energy for the body, which is useful when your lifestyle includes walking everywhere, carrying everything, avoiding predators, and occasionally sprinting because a bush made the wrong noise. But cooking had a cost. You needed fire. You needed fuel. You needed time. You needed someone to keep watch. And if the fire went out, your ancient kitchen was closed. No fire, no hot food, no cozy dinner, just cold sadness and chewing.
Another modern miracle ancient humans did not have: the fridge. Today, you can forget food in the back of a refrigerator until it becomes a science experiment. Ancient humans did not have that luxury. Food spoiled, meat attracted insects, smells attracted animals. Warm weather made things worse. So if the group got food, they had to make decisions fast. Eat it now, share it, carry it, dry it, smoke it, hide it, or leave it and hope something else does not find it first. This is why a big, successful hunt was amazing, but also a logistical nightmare.
Congratulations, you have a lot of meat. Now you have to stop the entire world from stealing it.
So how did ancient humans know what was safe to eat? The answer is not one magic trick. It was a lot of small clues. They watched animals. They watched each other. They remembered what happened last time. They learned from elders. They smelled food. They tasted carefully. They noticed which plants appeared in which season. They learned that some foods needed cooking. And sometimes, unfortunately, they learned because somebody made a mistake. This is the brutal part. Knowledge in the Stone Age was expensive. A modern label might say, warning, poisonous. An ancient warning might be, remember what happened to Grug, and suddenly everybody remembers.
Food was not just about eating. Food was social. A person alone might find a handful of berries. A group could cover more ground. One person could gather plants. Another could fish. Another could watch children. Another could keep the fire alive. Another could repair tools. Another could remember where food was found last season. And when food came back to camp, sharing mattered. Because today you might be lucky. Tomorrow someone else might be lucky. In a dangerous world, sharing food was not just kindness. It was survival insurance. If you fed the group when you had food, the group might feed you when you failed, got injured, got sick, or came back with nothing but a very dramatic story about the animal that got away. Food built trust, and trust kept people alive.
So what did ancient humans actually eat? The honest answer is whatever their environment gave them and whatever they were smart enough to get. Plants, roots, tubers, nuts, seeds, fruit, berries, fish, birds, eggs, shellfish, insects, small animals, large animals when they could, and probably many foods that would make a modern picky eater immediately file a complaint. There was no single Stone Age menu. People near rivers ate differently from people in forests. People in cold places ate differently from people in warm places. People in one season ate differently from people in another season. Ancient food was not a diet trend. It was adaptation. The goal was not to eat perfectly. The goal was to eat enough and not die from it. But even if you found food, and even if it did not poison you, there was still one more problem. What happened when ancient humans got sick? No doctors, no hospitals, no medicine cabinet, just pain, plants, luck, and a very worried tribe. Next time, we'll ask, how did ancient humans survive without doctors?